marijuana. She's 9 years old, and I give her medical marijuana. The reason why is because it has given her quality of life, it has reduced her seizures drastically, and because my only other choice next in line was to take out half of her brain. If you were in that same situation, wouldn't you? Hi.
Can I sneak upstairs and use your bathroom? Look at Lily's like, oh, give me your hand, bro.
Lily has had seizures since she was 6 months old. And we have tried about 25 pharmaceuticals, 2 diets, and nothing worked. And this past 2 years, things got really bad with her and the seizures got really bad.
Brooke has Dravet, so she had her first seizure at 5 months. And she developed normally until she was 3, and then she had so many seizures that she lost everything. She's followed 24/7 care. The medications that she's on, it helps the seizures, but it makes her very mean. I mean, I can't take her in public very often because she's really grouchy and mean.
This is Reagan, and from May of last year until February 1st, we hadn't gone 24 hours without a seizure. Upwards of 24 a day, which is very unusual for us.
Can you put those on? Madeline was born prematurely. We found out that she had brain damage on the left side of her brain. Well, after the first seizure, she had another one, and then they started to come a little bit more regularly. She will take a medication, it will work for a time, and then it just stops working. And so when that happens, they keep adding more on top of them. Things got so bad that she was not able at some points to eat. I would have to feed her because otherwise she'd just sit there like a zombie like this, like a shell of a child, like a shell of a human being. Like, I know she's in there somewhere, but I can't see her because the medicines masked who she was. But she wasn't having any seizures, so we didn't have anything to complain about according to the neurologist. I went to do research on the new medication that they put her on, and this has highly addictive properties. It has horrible withdrawal symptoms, and now this is what my daughter is going to be on. And the only reason they were doing this was because they were trying to see, how long she can go before surgery. I said, just do the surgery. Let's do the surgery if that's our only hope. Why are we wasting our time on these medications? And he said, we're not in a rush to do the surgery because we want to, she's going to have to take out the entire left side of her brain. Sleeve on the other side. It was the scariest time of my life. I'll tell you what, some people had sent me messages about medical cannabis, and I thought, this is ridiculous, my child's not gonna smoke pot. Like, why would I ever have my child smoke pot? That's just ridiculous. And it's so funny because I really thought that it was a bad thing. At this point, I went to my friend's Facebook page, and she had posted a video about medical cannabis. Because my friend was a Christian like I am, she was a missionary, she was somebody I trusted, she put it on her page, and I thought, maybe I'll watch it. And I watched it, and I remember I had goosebumps all over and thought, oh my goodness, what if this is the one thing that she needs? And if it doesn't work, well, then we always have the surgery option. Hi. It's federally illegal drug. It's a Schedule I drug. Therefore, you can't, travel to different states with it. The only thing we could do was to come to Colorado and go through the process for her to get her red card so that we could receive medical cannabis for her. A red card is basically the license that you have to purchase medical marijuana.
It's basically a very concentrated form, and it's going to be a cannabinoid called CBD or cannabidiol, and that helps a lot with the children with epilepsy. In the mountains, we have a big marijuana farm. Everything is in a big greenhouse, and then we have some outside grows as well. So they're pretty big. They're like the size of a football field or something, I want to say.
Yes, sweetie.
So there's only 2 girls that are coming to play with me.
Maybe Sarah's children are coming too.
So 5 children, Mommy, including
I met this group through Realm of Caring Foundation. We're all a part of that foundation, and so therefore moved out here, and we had an instant support group. That's right, didn't we? We had an instant support group and come out here, and it's like family. It's like you trust people with your children immediately, and you get along with everyone. Okay, it's a little different than family because we don't fight. Right? Right? Is that right? Is that right? There are people from all over the states. Where are you from?
Minnesota.
Nancy's from Oklahoma. So yeah, they come to Colorado because this is where you can get it legally and safely, and you know what you're getting because it's all been tested and it's organically grown, and we know it's working for these kids. So that's why everyone comes out here. I know 2 others from Virginia, where I'm from, and so they're all over the United States. Yep.
There's got to be like probably 300 families out here just in this area. And I mean, there's waiting lists. There's waiting lists of thousands. I heard about the cannabis oil in Colorado, and we said we have to try it. I mean, we couldn't live that way anymore, and she doesn't deserve to live that way anymore. So we came out here to try the cannabis oil.
There's Kinderen. Look. Look at the cat. He's like, ah.
It's really hard. You know, my husband's at home working with the dogs and the cats, and my other daughter, my oldest, and I'm here with the 3 youngest, and it's a lot. It's, you know, it's hard in all aspects, emotionally, financially, you know, and trying to control these seizures at the same time. It's a lot of work, but I mean, I do it over and over again for her because, you know, we have to give her the best life we can. That's what parents do.
We're from Oklahoma, and it is illegal there, and so we picked up and moved, and my husband is still there and won't be able to come until at the earliest 2015, so he comes about every 3 weeks.
Minnesota hasn't passed it yet. They're in the middle of it, but even after passing it, they don't have access to, we don't have the plants in Minnesota, so we can't have the cannabis in Minnesota, which means I can't go home with it because it's a class 1 drug, so I can't cross the state lines with it. So me and the 3 little ones are stuck here.
Oh, you beat him.
Yes! I really like the medications, but I pretend it's a flavor, so I just make up a flavor.
This is the Charlotte's Web here. The Charlotte's Web comes from a medical cannabis plant that's high in cannabidiol, which is CBD, and very low in THC. THC is a psychoactive property of the cannabis plant. What does that taste like?
Pear.
Pear? Pear. Okay. What do you think this one's going to taste like?
I was really not good because I used to feel really yucky inside, and now I don't feel that way anymore.
Her seizure activity has reduced tremendously. The difference between an old EEG we have in comparison to one that was just done in March is like night and day difference. And it doesn't necessarily make her feel any different as far as I can tell. It doesn't make her act any different as far as I can tell.
Biggest difference for us is that decrease in seizures, and just giving her a break. In November, she had them hourly for about 10 days. She wasn't able to walk. We get temporary paralysis on her left side after her seizures, and she was not able to use her leg and arm, and she's fully recovered. She's running on the playground, and you can't even tell. Why is the medicine good? Does it help your shakes?
Uh-huh.
Yeah?
She's just distracting me.
I'm seeing a lot of changes with her coming back up into our world. She's much more affectionate. She's much more curious. She's into everything now. she's doing things that she hasn't done before in school. So, yeah.
This has given me hope. You know, this is the light at her end of her tunnel. And it absolutely has. I mean, it's brought back Lily to me in just a month more than I've seen her in a year and a half. So it's wonderful to see.
And then, now comes the moment.
She's able to read, she's able to function, she can play with her friends, she can have sleepovers, she can walk out of the room and I don't have to worry about her having a seizure.
Stinker.
Medical cannabis
Remove it.
has changed our life. It has given me my daughter back, and she was gone for a while. She was not there, and I knew she was somewhere in there, but I didn't know that it would be medical marijuana that would bring her out of her shell and bring her out to the child that she is today.
Everybody in every state, and you know, should be allowed access to it. They really should. I mean, why should a family have to tear apart and hide out in a state to help their child? It just shouldn't be that way. It really shouldn't be that way. And it's not something that people are doing criminally. You know, it's a medicine for these kids, and it's proven, and all of us families are proof that it's reducing their seizures 50 to 80 to 100%. That's amazing. I mean, it's amazing. That's more than any medication has done for a lot of these kids.